Okay. So, dropping this one early because we have the draft coming up. We're going to be too busy this weekend. We're too busy being popular and having stuff to do.
We like to keep you on your toes.
I don't like no.
It's not as bad as your slurp. But yeah, we this will be coming out on Thursday.
Draft day. Da-na-na, da-na-na. That's sports.
I was gonna say that's like the late night cut from like a basketball game into Sports Center for like the alerts.
Yeah, back when Sports Center was good.
Yeah, I don't watch it anymore, so I wouldn't know. They probably don't even use that anymore.
No, I think they do.
I don't know.
They probably use like some. I don't even know bagpipe music at this point because nobody cares. Music. I don't know.
But yeah, so today is Bowman basketball release day. We have sleuthed throughout the internets, and we are incredibly cheaper than a lot of people. So if you are looking for Bowman basketball and you're listening today, which for you would be Thursday, we are priced very well on it. So come and get it, because I know once the restock comes, we will probably be paying more than we are selling it for right now.
For sure. And 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what else comes out this week.
Metal Hockey.
Metal
Universe Hockey. Donruss.
Is it Road to the World Cup?
Yes. Donruss Road to the World Cup.
Which is confusing, because remember the last World Cup, it was the Road to Qatar.
Which that's where the World Cup
I know, but like then they changed the verbiage to just Road to the World Cup this year instead of Road to the Final Destination, which would be... I know why. The final games are being played in New Jersey.
Road to New Jersey.
Yeah, I think the finals are in is it at the Jets Stadium?
I think so.
Is that which one?
MetLife.
MetLife. Yeah, so that's where they probably were like, we can't do Road to New Jersey.
Finest English Premier League Soccer
also
releases this week. It's today as of this.
It releases Thursday.
Yes.
Okay.
And Ascended Heroes booster bundles will be out on Friday.
I think there's actually...
and Graphite Tennis.
I think there's actually a couple other Ascended, like EX boxes or something.
And Sage High Series Football.
Wow.
1 day late. Because I know a lot of people like ripping that as the draft is happening.
Should have been a Wednesday release. Is it coming out on Friday?
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Release it on Tuesday or Wednesday.
No bueno.
Oh, well. Yeah, but we have the Next Up card show this weekend. So if you're listening today for you, which is Thursday, the show will be tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. I believe the hours are like 12 to 8 for Friday and 12 to 6 maybe, or 11 to 6 on Saturday. It's on the Next Up Card Show's website. We have had dozens and dozens of people ask us, where do I park? How do I get there? All those things. We are in the same boat as you. We do not know.
Well, if you're in the same boat, it's not going to be anywhere near the convention center because they shut down the rivers.
That river could be... No, that river's closed. Yeah, that one's closed. Yeah.
Although when I told somebody that earlier, they were like, how do you shut down a river? I was like, they don't let boats in. They're not going to build a dam.
Yeah, they're not like... Yeah, they're not... They don't have like 10,000 beavers out there. They got like, police boats, and they put like probably like a net across or something, like a wall of some nature. I mean, how do they shut down roads? Usually with vehicles blocking or cones, which they
but roads aren't made of water.
Water cones.
Wones.
But yeah, we really don't. I don't know. I mean, I think you're going to need to figure out a combination of nearby parking structures, nearby street parking, Ubers, maybe carpooling with people and splitting parking costs, or having people drop you off and, they're super nice and they drop you off and come pick you back up again.
Or paragliding in from Mount Washington.
Yes.
That's my current leading
Yeah, Nate wants that one.
Option.
I truly think that one of the plays will probably be finding some sort of street parking down the strip in walking. It'd be like a 10 to 15 minute walk most likely, but I think that will be a reasonable...
Get one of those scooters.
The birds? Are they bird scooters or lime scooters?
Lime, I think.
I know the kids were throwing them in the river, so I know that they they had issues with the city scooting.
The rivers had worse things in it.
Yeah, there's way worse. I've never been in the Pittsburgh rivers, and I don't plan on doing it.
No, thank you.
Numerous dead bodies in there, if I had to guess. But
that's not even the gross stuff, really.
I'm talking about...
I mean, just chemicals. And...
I thought you were talking about poop.
Well, yeah,
there's probably some sewage in there. I know a lot of people who go down there, and they love it, and I'm just not doing it. And I've also never had, like, some weird bacterial infection either, so I think that's probably where I would get it. Just jumping in with an open wound.
That's fair.
So that was one of our questions that we did receive. Like, where do I park? Like I said, just to get back to that. If you're an adult, I think you'll figure it out. If you're a kid listening, I don't know why you're listening. But also, I think your parents...
You're allowed to.
You can listen. I think your parents can figure it out. It's going to suck. There's no easy way to get into that city for hardly any event, let alone, 500,000 people being brought in. Now, the good news is I think a lot of these people coming to the draft are probably flying in, but that means that Ubers are going to be incredibly busy. Expect inflated rates there for sure. I think it would be worth...
You mean I have to pay market price for my Uber? Why not MSRP?
That would be funny if there was a similar thing in that. No, it wouldn't be funny. People would complain all the time. But, yeah, I don't know. I think just it might be worth trying to get down there, though. I think there's going to be some really incredible stuff at that show. I did have another...
Has there been a show this big in Pittsburgh?
No, I mean, there's been big... All right, let me rephrase that. Big as far as size, yes. I don't know that this level of dealer has ever come here, though. I've seen the list, and it's a lot of the same names that are going to be set up at the National. So if you're looking to add some incredible pieces, some high-end pieces... Like, this is not going to be a regular show. This is not going to be like a dime box digging show. This is going to be if you are like a high-end collector, high-end investor, or just interested in seeing cool stuff. Yeah, this is going to be the spot.
This is not going to be Tommy down the street with his icy light cans.
No, there's going to be very little flea market type stuff there. It's going to be mostly really unique, cool, modern, liquid, like all like the stuff you want to see is going to be there.
I have a feeling there will also be vintage.
Yeah, there will probably be some high-end vintage. This will be the kind of show that you may see like Babe Ruth autographs, Jordan rookies, Mantle rookies, that kind of stuff, which you don't typically see at like a lot of regional shows. We'll see if they would... I would love for this show to happen not during the draft. Like, I'd love for it to happen at another time, like maybe in like the fall or something, like a November show or something. Pre-Christmas... do another show when we don't have as many traffic issues. I don't know how many parking spots the convention center has. It's not crazy.
It's also not enough.
No, for this weekend. I think they only have like 2,000 parking spots there, if I had to guess. You can go park at the casino for $500 and take a. I think they have those golf carts all set up to drive people all around. But yeah, parking's gonna suck. We had another question about selling cards at the show. Once again, you're going to see dealers there that are not normally at some of these other shows. There's going to be big money spent in the show, so if you do have some good cards you're looking to, I'm going to say unload in the way of like just sell them, not like unload as far as like give them away. There will be some aggressive buyers in the room.
Yes.
We did receive another question regarding monetary payment. I would say do not expect to be able to use a credit card. Some dealers do credit, others don't. Yeah,
some do credit, some do PayPal, Venmo. There's a lot that don't. One thing for that a lot of people don't realize is when you get that many people together, cell reception goes down the shitter. Mm-hmm. So a lot of those dealers either have trouble processing those electronic payments or running those credit cards, just because they need better network connectivity for that.
And another reason too for people wanting cash, like we prefer cash at shows, just because most of the time when we're at these big shows, we've never done a deal with these people before. So if you do take electronic payment from them, there is the risk of like fraudulent chargebacks and them calling their bank and saying they did not approve of this. And we actually have had chargebacks before in the past with PayPal. So we tend to prefer cash unless we've done a deal with you before. We'll do a variety of payments for people that we trust and know and we have a rapport with. But if we've never done a deal with you, there's 0% chance we're taking like $5,000 via electronic payment. It's just not happening.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's a lot of etiquette around payment too. That I think some of it we probably sound like old men yelling at clouds, to an extent, but just there's some show etiquette of, okay, like this is what I personally do. If I go up to somebody at a show and they're asking like astronomical amounts, like, okay, I'm looking for this card. It averagely sells for $30. I would pay $40 for it. Well, I see somebody at a show has it up for $100.
Okay.
I'm probably not going to ask them, hey, can you do $40 on that? I'm probably just going to move on. Unless it's a super rare card, just move on. It's not worth your time and frustration.
Yeah, people get very upset when you don't take their offer. But like I'm the same way. Like the Butler show last weekend, if I knew we were like really far apart on a card, I just kind of passed on it. I just assumed that they weren't gonna, if they had a card marked at $1,200 and it's an $800 card that I wanted to offer $700 on or $750 on, I just kind of just walked past it.
Yeah, and just furthermore with that, like, okay, if it is like a rare card or something like that you really really want. One way to automatically lose the seller is if you go up to them and say, well, the last comp did this. The last comp is not the comps. Comps are an average. You can cherry pick all you want if you just want to pick one specific comp. Say you have a card that sells for $80 all day. Sometimes it ends at $85, sometimes it ends at $75, and then somebody doesn't know what they have. They listed that card for $49.99. Buy it now, and somebody just bought it. Well, that $50 comp is irrelevant. You can obviously see, based off of the data, that that person undersold it and didn't know what they had. Additionally, you can do a little bit of research and see, okay, maybe it was an auction that ended at $50. Well, that auction ended at Tuesday at 11:30 in the morning.
And there were feet in the picture.
Yeah, like the picture was you can see their chandelier and the reflection of the top loader.
Chandelier, wow.
Chandelier.
Yeah, that's and the other thing with last comp too is like we've seen this before at shows. Let's say you have a card that's numbered out of like 10, and it's an Otani card, and the last comp was like late 2024. Clearly, that market is no longer the same. So it's I always tell people this, like reading comps is kind of like it can be like an artwork at some point. Like it's not just as simple as like typing in the card, looking at the data. Sometimes there is, like Nate was saying, it's a bad listing, sold at the wrong time, it's an uneducated lister. And also, people forget, last comp, that card's not available anymore. So the one that sold for $50 that could have been a buy it now, you can't buy that card. That card's not available on the market anymore. So this hypothetical card we're talking about that is worth $80, if the lowest one listed right now is 100, you're probably not getting the card for $50. So
yeah, if you're going to use the word comp, it can't be one specific thing, because I can guarantee you there is other data out there to go off of.
Yeah, or like a similar card. I think we've had it before where we had a card listed where let's just use hypothetical numbers. It was listed at $100 and it was numbered out of 50. And they're like, yeah, but the last one did $50. And we're like, yeah, but since then the out of 99 has done $70. So the whole market has come up. One just hasn't been offered since that last sale. So looking at the actual sale date is very important on that stuff. At the same time, on the buyer side of things, you should be educated on what the value of a card is. And as a collector myself too, as long as it's within like a respectable percentage of that, I tend to pop on it. So if it's a card that, market shows it's consistently been selling for $80 or $82 and they want 90 for it, if you really want the card, just get the card. Because if you truly believe in the card, you shouldn't lose the deal over $5 or $10. You could use that argument the other way too, and the dealer shouldn't lose it over $5 or $10, but it is their card, so they don't have to sell it. So that's another thing to remember is just because a dealer has a card for sale doesn't mean that they have to sell it at your price. We tend to have our stuff priced pretty well at shows. I mean, we try to in the store too, but we have so many cards in the store we can't update the price of every single card in the shop. When we do set up at a show, typically every card has been researched within the last couple days of that show. So we should be pretty up to date on the pricing on it.
Yeah, and I see signs all the time at shows now that say if you say the word comp to me, we're not getting a deal done. Well, okay, you're 50% of the way there.
Yeah, that's also those guys also can be a little bit crazy.
They're crazy, but that should be worded. If you're not going to say comp in the right term or use the right phrasing, then yeah, we're probably not going to get a deal done if you're going off of one single listing.
Yeah, and there are once again the dealer who is being really aggressive about not listening to your data you're bringing to the table. Just walk away. Like I said, especially at this show this weekend, there are going to be hundreds of dealers there. You don't have to get a deal done with one guy. You don't have to. It's not like a necessity to get a deal done with a certain person. Now, if that person has a one of one that you really need and want, maybe you try to discuss it with them. But end of the day, you can, if you're just looking for not common cards, but if you're looking for cards that are readily available, or you're just looking for let's say you're looking for a Justin Herbert autograph. I would bet that there's another dealer that has a similar card to that at a fairer rate.
Yeah. And especially okay, if you're looking for a PSA 10 flagship Topps Cooper Flag rookie card that you really want to add, argument's sake, okay, they're selling for $60. I don't know what they're selling for. Somebody has one for $120. You're gonna find other ones. Just don't even offer the guy $60.
Yeah,
just move on. You're gonna statistically speaking, you will find another one. Just be patient.
Yeah, like Nate was, if it's a common card, you can definitely wait out to find one that's priced correctly. And there's certain players right now like Ohtani, that dealers are always scared of FOMO, where they don't want to sell the card. Let's say it's a $250 card that they have priced at $275. Maybe that they think in the next week or so it's going to get to their number. And once again, it's their card. So I bought a lot of cards at Butler last weekend, and most of them, I had very few cards that I had holdups on. And the ones that I did, I had a reasonable discussion with the person. I let them see what I was looking at, and about probably 3/4 of the time we got a deal done. Maybe part of it is okay, hey, you're at $80 on this card. I want to be at $60, but you have this other card over here at $100. I'll pay you $100 on that one. I'll pay your full list on that one. Will you give me this one for my number? And typically, when you are looking to bundle a couple things, you can get a the rapport goes up. Now, that is also a slippery slope because we have people sometimes at shows that just start bundling stuff before you even talk price, and now you have 12 cards out of your cases. You're trying to get a deal done, and you're so far apart, now you just wasted 10, 15 minutes over a negotiation that was never going to be completed, and now you have to put all that stuff back. Maybe you skipped out on talking to someone else you could have connected with because you were spending the time on this deal, and it just didn't work out. So when we are typically doing multi-card transactions, I tend to not even start that like final process until we're to the point of an agreement on like multiple things before we start pulling cards.
Also, I know we've touched on this in the past. If you walk up to a dealer and you say, like, oh, if I get multiple things, can we work something out? You're not doing them a favor. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, maybe the most minuscule amount. But, like, oh, let me see. Also, just read the fucking room. Like, okay, I see this dealer has this one case. Every card's $1,000 or more. The case I'm looking at, okay, I see a $20 card and a $60 card. And I said, well, let me help you out. If I buy both of them, can you do $50? Like, brother, look over. Yeah. They don't need that $50. Yeah,
and I know that, like, some of these guys, like, there are a lot of dealers who work on incredibly tight numbers. So you got to go up to the table figuring that a lot of these dealers have paid 80 to 95% on some of this stuff. So that card that they have $100 on, they might have paid $80 or $85 for it, and they're trying to get to the end consumer on the card, make that 10, 15%, and they might not have any wiggle room at all. Just because someone doesn't go down at all on a price on something, it doesn't mean they're being difficult. Sometimes it's simply the numbers. It's become incredibly difficult to stock quality stuff right now because of all these shows. And there is like a new base with all the repacks and stuff going on. People do pay really aggressive on stuff. So if they have that downtown or that kaboom, they're probably not taking 80% of market on it. And the other thing I don't like, this is like a personal one. Like, it's not like I'm not being unrealistic, but at the same time, like, I definitely see an argument for it. It's like when you have a card at $100 and it sells for $100, it's the person who's like, well, yeah, but if you're going to lose 15% of fees if you sell this on eBay. It's like, yeah, but they might not even remotely be trying to sell it on eBay. So,
and you're going to be paying sales tax on eBay.
And shipping typically. So,
and like the other thing is, okay, we're trying to sell a card for $100. It sells for $100. Okay, we're not losing fees on that transaction. There is more overhead than people realize at these shows. Because, like, okay, you can break it down of, oh, that person only paid X amount for a table at this show. Well, they have to pay for travel. They have to pay for lodging, food. Even there are other costs that are involved.
Like, even us, with us being local and traveling to and from the show and staying at our own homes, between our booth space, parking, food, labor, because I do actually pay my employees. Nate doesn't get paid. No, Nate doesn't get paid, but other people do get paid. We throw him bullshit. We give you bags of bugles and stuff.
One time I had a bag of Zesty Ranch bugles, and there was no seasoning, not even salt on it, and I was so sad. It's one of the worst things that's ever happened to me. Anyways.
But back to the cost thing. So by the time we're done, we're going to be into this show for about $2,500 to $2,700 in our cost. So yes, making 10% on a card, we can't float stuff at exactly what we paid it for. So obviously that is our concern too. I get it that, like, we're the ones who chose to sign up and all that stuff, but when you think about this stuff logically, when you are stepping up to a dealer's booth, also a good percentage of the people at this specific show, and then I would include the national too, probably 75 to 80% of the room are professional dealers. Like, this is their full income. They don't have a side job where they are doing like weekend shows. Now, there will be a percentage of people that are just like weekend warriors and collectors looking to sell stuff off, but it's at the end of the day, a lot of these guys at these shows, like, this is their full-time gig, so they do have to make money. I know it's a crazy thing, but that being said, there are also scumbags. So there are people out there that do try to take advantage of people. They are making way bigger margins than they say, and they are just difficult to work with. That for sure happens.
Yes.
I have run into quite a few of them.
General rule of thumb. General thumb. This is, you might agree, you might not. If you're going through like somebody's cases or something, or their bargain boxes, and like nothing's priced on the front, and then you hand the stuff over to the person and they whip out a Beckett, you're not gonna like it.
Yeah, that's...
Every now and then, sure. If they're just using it as like a reference of like, okay, is this one of the best names in that set or something like that? But yeah, having your stuff priced is going to get you a lot more sales.
Yeah, and that's one thing I can say. We say this every year going into the National. We cannot guarantee you'll like our price. We can guarantee you will know our price, though. We do not put anything in the cases that is not priced. I don't believe in it. I hate it. There was a dude at the show this past weekend. Nothing was priced. And I can't say I wouldn't have got deals done. I just like being able to do math in my head prior to even talking to them. There are a lot of people who have social anxiety things. I am actually one of them. I don't actually like talking to strangers, even though it's very natural in the store and it shows I do talk to people. But I don't unprompted like to start a conversation with someone that could be hostile. I really don't like. I like.
I don't even like starting conversation with people I know sometimes.
Yeah, and it's so if you are a dealer vending, just price your cards. Even if you're not confident and you think you might be overpriced, just throw a number on it. And if you're not sure, I get it. But I think taking the step of having some sort of price tag on your card can go a long way. I love how I just messed up and said car, and the amount of times that I talk to people in person say like, oh, I sell cards. They say, oh, you sell cars?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Sports cars. Which we've actually had that call from, I think Google sometimes, like sports car Junction.
Total squirrel moment. That is the shortest freight truck I've ever seen in my life.
That's a little guy. 2 pallets. Nice. Okay.
All right.
But yeah, like another thing I want to say with the respect thing as far as starting the conversation, like Nate says, your first comment shouldn't be last comp. Your first thing to do is make a connection with the dealer. Hey, how you doing? How's the show going? Oh, I love these cars. Like, can you tell me about this? How long have you been doing this? These are all things you can do.
When did you have your first kiss? At these shows, good chunk of that's probably going to be never.
Yeah, but but I just think that like we've lost this a little bit. Like I am so much more likely to give you a better deal if we have some sort of conversation that is not just price based. I like like I said, even though I said I don't really like talking to people I don't know, but like that does loosen me up. Like if I do have a conversation with you about one of my cards or about what you're looking for, or like you just connect over a card that you're not even interested in. Like I do that a lot. Whenever I go up to someone's table, I'll see a card that you can tell they're very proud of. It's like front and center. It's got a big price tag on it. Maybe I have no interest in the card. I'll still talk about the card with them though, because clearly like that might be like their best card that they currently have. And while you're having that conversation, you can say things like, oh, I like this card. Like what could you do on this one? Hey, if I was to take, these 2 Big Ben cards and this Walter Payton card, is there any kind of room on that? Don't do the I'm paying cash, because it's like they kind of assume most of the time that you are. So like that's not like a good negotiation tactic, saying you're paying cash. Like I said, a lot of these dealers prefer cash anyway, and they're not gonna like.
And if they are running credit cards, that's what, like 3, maybe 5% at the max.
Yeah, like it's credit card prices have really come down quite a bit. Another one that is mostly the kids, and like I said, sometimes it's maybe just because they haven't been told yet, or like they have a parent who is with them and like the parent doesn't collect or something. don't go throwing your Zion cases on top of people's display cases.
Without asking.
Yeah, and do it gently. If you can, if there's multiple cases next to each other, maybe put it on like the seam of where the two cases are so all the pressure isn't on the glass. Don't assume. The other thing too is like, hey, are you buying? If that person says, no, I'm not buying, and then you're like, but what about trades? Inside baseball, trades and buying are very similar. They're still taking that card in at a certain rate that they might not be looking to take on more inventory or certain inventory. I know, like, we'll look at stuff like, hey, are you buying? And we'll be like, yeah, we're interested. We're interested in this card. And then they try to throw all the cards in the deal, like, how about this trade on this? And, like, yeah, I wasn't interested in the cards. It's not necessarily about how we're doing the transaction. A lot of this comes with time. Like, I'm a very seasoned person at shows. I know a lot of the etiquette things, but if you are just getting into this, it can be a learning curve. Understand that you're also in a room with a lot of very educated dealers, so you're probably not good at
There's enough seasoning in there to kill a pilgrim.
It is a shrimp boil in there. There's lots of seasoning. That it's very off-putting when someone comes up to your booth and they start spitting knowledge with the confidence like they know more than you. So that is something to be cognizant of. Like, always be humble. I am still learning this industry every single day. I am still learning about cards. I'm still learning about different things.
I know everything.
Yeah, that would be a bad thing because I've had those people at shows before. Like, they'll be like, I'm a whatnot seller. I've been doing this for 3 years, and the market is showing this, and I'm usually very quiet about it and don't.
Brother,
like, say
I have had cards at PSA for longer than you've been collecting.
Yeah, so, always go into these shows looking to connect with someone and learn more. Don't go in being super cocky and disrespectful. Like I said, it's never a good way to make a relationship by being hostile on the front end of it. Like Nate was saying, like the comps thing, it's not a way to start the conversation. If you get further in a conversation and you are super interested in a card and you really do think you're close enough, sure, show them some of the data you're seeing. Maybe they use a different platform. I know we use Card Ladder. There are still some people who use like
price charting.
Yeah.
Or maybe people just use eBay,
yeah,
but don't know how to properly use eBay,
which I had,
to where they can see like best offers. I
had that one where a guy was like, last sale was $800. I showed him that same card on Card Ladder, and I was like, actually, they took $600 for it. $800 was the list price, but they accepted a cheaper offer because sometimes eBay's app doesn't show you the correct offer. Even on the research tool, sometimes it shows you the wrong one. Got to remember, eBay at the end of the day doesn't really want you knowing what stuff sold for because they want you to overpay for the next one. They make more money on the fees, so they don't want you to always have accurate info. That's why 130 point kept getting attacked by eBay for it would go down like every other day because eBay did not want that to even exist. Now I think that eBay may have a relationship with Card Ladder. Like I think they might have a good relationship,
probably.
But that is something to be cognizant of. Assume if a guy has a lot of graded cards and they have raw stuff there and they are cards that have a lot of upside on the grading front, it's safe to assume, you shouldn't assume anything in life, but it is safe to assume that they probably have looked it over. You don't have to have the whole dance of let me look at it. And
if a seller has a stack of graded Cooper flag stuff, and then in 2 cases over, they have a bunch of raw Cooper flag stuff. Okay, they probably looked through those stacks. That doesn't mean those cards are garbage.
I just keep having a Forky moment. I'm trash. But no, there's no problem with raw cards. Raw cards are fine. But it's just something to
raw cards is how you get minis.
Now when you get to rip cards are just are they pregnant cards?
Yeah, it's a C-section.
Oh boy, that clip's not gonna be fun. But yeah, so it's like I said, this is a different. If you have mostly gone to small shows, this is going to be a different beast. If you do have plans on going to the National one day, which I think everyone should go to the National at least once. this would be a nice little stepping stone into a larger show environment. I know a lot of people who are going to be set up there. There are a lot of good guys in the room. There are some shady guys. I'm not going to put them on blast and actually tell you who they are, but there are some guys, and typically
there's also people just they're dicks.
There are some people who are just dicks. I mean, that
you are
is
what you eat.
No comment. But I know another one that gets brought up with like show etiquette, hygiene. Like, guys, we to use deodorant, use cologne, wear fresh clothes, look nice. There's nothing worse than like when you're at the show and the guy's wearing like a shirt that has like a mustard stain on it and like 10-day-old sweatpants and they have a funk.
Maybe put an air freshener around your neck.
That'd be
hang them from your ears.
Sports Car Junction air freshener necklaces.
Yes.
But like it's, and once again, me and Nate are both very cognizant of people's mental health and all that stuff. Like I understand, like sometimes there's certain people who get into a depressive state. Maybe they're not showering regularly and stuff. But
I mean, we've both been there.
Like if you're going to a thing where other people are at, you need to respect their environment because it is. I mean, me and Nate have been around some of these people where like. You can't. It's really hard to engage in a conversation when your only thought is this person has a smell to them. We had one like 2 months ago. They reeked of cat piss, and I don't know if the clothes that they were specifically wearing had been urinated on, or if that is just their pheromone is cat piss, which that would be terrible.
Maybe they were wearing Sex Panther.
They could have been, but. I'm getting the other telltale signs. They were wearing some decently soiled looking sweatpants. So, like I said, it's something.
Actually, I break out if I use deodorant.
And if you're a bigger guy, I mean, I'm not at my optimal weight right now. I definitely make sure that I actually carry deodorant with me at shows just in case. Sometimes whenever you're loading in, you can get a little sweaty. I like to re-up there or change a shirt or something. So if you are more, if you're a big sweater, I would maybe bring an extra shirt. I mean, sometimes these shows, like the AC isn't working. Like the one year at the Chicago, it was like 90 degrees. It was a sauna.
And like 75. No, I think humidity it was like 90% humidity.
Yeah, humidity was crazy, and there was a lot of big dudes in a tight space, and there was some funk going on. So shower up, apply deodorant. Wear some fresh clothes and look the part of trying to respect others because that can definitely go a long way. If you are looking very disheveled and like I said, you have an odor to you, you're gonna struggle to have people want to have long conversations with you. Which that's one of the big points of card shows is to connect with collectors and people who have the same interests as you.
Yeah.
Do not bring a wagon with you. It is clogging lanes is a big thing at card shows. Another thing too is do not do deals at other people's tables. That is a big no-no. Like don't start wheeling in. Like if Nate comes up to my booth and says, "Are you buying?" and I say, "Sure." I look through and I'll say, "Hey man, I'm gonna pass." Don't ask Nate, "Hey, can I look?" Sure. Move to a common area. The convention center this is going to be at has a massive lobby that is probably going to be wide open for people to like do wheel and deal. It is very disrespectful to do a deal at someone else's table. I'm not going to. Not everyone is going to say something, but just know it is a big no-no, and they probably do not like that you're doing it. Even if they don't say something, they will think of you differently. So if they see you at another show, be like, that's the guy that like was stepping into my... Because you got to remember, these dealers are paying a lot of money. Even the single tables at this show are like $300 or $400. The booths are like $1,700. So cognizantly be aware of that. In more so, another thing too, like we've had this before at shows, unless you are specifically brought into a conversation, if there are two people having a conversation, don't butt into it. It is like, let's say the dealer says, okay, yeah, I want to do 150, and the guy's like, okay, 150, and the guy's like, oh, you're overpaying. Like, don't do that. It's just, I'm not gonna say inappropriate, but it's not the right environment for that.
Additionally, when just to clarify for people, when Chad says, don't go dragging a wagon around the shows, he means like an actual like four-wheeled like wagon. Like if you have a fat ass, you're still allowed to go to shows.
All right. I do know, I think the convention center will not allow dollies in anyway, so that's good. But because one of the issues with the wagon situation, it's not like someone who is pulling their kids around the show. It's someone who basically has an entire display worth of stuff in their wagon, and they're basically vending without paying for the table space. So they're kind of cutting the corner of, they're going dealer to dealer selling their wares. Like it's like old-timey, like
traveling salesman.
Yes, like if you wanted to vend, get a table. Now, if you have a backpack or you're carrying a single Zion case, that is not what I'm talking about. Clearly, that is very common. Once again, just be respectful of whichever dealer's table you're at. If you're not doing a deal directly with them, just do not do a deal in the middle of the aisle. We've seen that before. Guys literally just sit on the ground in front of your table. That's annoying. Another one, too, is if a table has bargain boxes, stay in front of the bargain boxes. Don't take that box and then block. Or if you have friends with you, we'll have people who will look at bargain box, and then they take up two cases next to the bargain box with their friends looking. You're blocking potential sales from happening. So this is something you might not think about if you don't go to these or you haven't seen it. Just understand it is definitely disrespectful to whoever's table that is.
What was that? Was that almost burp?
Yes,
It didn't come out.
I was hoping you were going to start talking, and I was just going to absorb that into my body.
Nope.
Let's see. If you are selling to a dealer, expect to get somewhere between 80 and 90% right now. If you are selling the most liquid of liquid stuff, like case hits, you are not a monster for wanting 90%, but do not expect 100%. It's not going to happen. Yes, you may stumble across a dealer who really needs something for a specific customer, or it's a card that they think is going to appreciate. Like, let's say you have a Jordan PSA 8 rookie and the market is an average of $11,500. You might get 11 grand for it. You might get 90+%, but you're probably not getting the full number. I know I've had deals recently where they wanted like $10K for the card, and it's like a $10,000 card, and they're like, "I'll do $9,700, let you make a few $100." That's not really how it works, because then you're still taking on all of the risk of that card falling, and if that card falls even a few percent, you're back to making no money. You okay over there?
Yes.
Okay.
I was double checking if we had any other questions
that
had been asked.
But yeah, the selling, like I said, some dealers are only going to pay 70% too. It's not liquid stuff. Like, let's say you have like a Chris Olave patch autograph in an Ezekiel Elliott slab and, a Gardner Minshew patch autograph. You're not probably getting above 70% for that stuff. It's not very liquid. They're going to get stuck with it. Also, if you are looking to sell stuff and you are at a dealer's table and they do have like all $100+ stuff, you probably don't even need to waste your time showing them like bargain box level stuff. If you are a parent who just wants your kid to get the reps in, sure, but like don't be offended if they pass or just say they're not interested. We definitely see a lot of kids who have disappointment whenever we don't want some of their stuff, and it's like we can't buy everything. We have a lot already. We try to be as fair as possible when we do want stuff, but if we don't want the stuff, it's not even about the rate that we're buying it at. It's
just about crushing dreams.
Yeah, that's me. That's totally my angle. Usually is crushing dreams. There's some other stuff though. I'm trying to think some other show etiquette stuff.
Not quite etiquette, but something that is very useful at shows, especially a big show like the National, that I tell people to do. Okay, if you're at a booth where you're potentially coming back for one of the cards, take a picture of that card with a business card of whatever booth it is. Because likely, if they have business cards, they have signage up. So you can see, okay, this is the card I was interested in. I need to go find this logo. Because a lot of people will just write down like, okay, I want to go back to booth such and such. Well, what do you want when you go back there? Like, a lot of people don't do that. Or they'll just take a picture of a card but not notate where they need to go to get it if they decide to come back for it.
Another thing I'll expand on that too is if you do come across a card that is priced 100% correctly and it's a card you were searching for, like let's say you go into this show being like, I want a Tom Brady Bowman rookie PSA 8 and it is priced at the price point that you are willing to pay. If you see it, buy it, because there are a lot of the time there are many people looking for these same things. We've had it happen so many times at the National. People come back, oh, you sold it. Well, yeah, I mean, it was priced correctly, and it's a very in-demand person. And then they get kind of weirdly bummed out and mad.
Yeah.
And it's
like 9 times out of 10, if somebody says that they'll think about it or they might come back for it, it's going to sell to somebody else.
I will say, too, this is back to like the payment thing. Set your budget for what you want your budget to be. Take that amount of cash, and once you hit that limit, I mean, that's you don't. It's like the casino. You don't need to go to the ATM and get more money out. Your odds are, if you're a collector at a show like this one this weekend, you're gonna see a lot of stuff you want. So, like, there's always gonna be another card you would like to add. It doesn't matter if you put your budget at, let's say, $1,000. You could put your budget at $10,000 and you're still going to keep finding stuff. So, but second guessing yourself too, like, do I really want this card? Is this truly like the card I was trying to add? If you second guess it too much, then you're never going to pull the trigger and you're going to end up leaving the show without buying stuff. Or like I was just saying a couple minutes ago, you're going to go back to the original table and they've sold that card. So, I mean, the other thing too is you can pre-research some cards. Mm-hmm. Have like a little notebook or a notes on your app and be like, okay, these are 10 cards I'm looking to get. This is kind of what they're selling for. Figure the cards in hand, you're going to probably pay towards the top end of the market. But if it's a card you want, it's a card you want. I bought a couple cards this past weekend. I paid full market. I bought a couple cards that I paid 100% of market on because I feel like they do have a good upside in like the next year or two, and I plan on holding them for a couple years. So I don't mind paying full. That's why we get a lot of people like, well, what do you pay? What percentage do you guys pay? It's not always cut and dry. Like, we will only pay 80% or 85%. Yeah. Like, there are certain cards I will pay. If you bring me a card that is maybe nostalgic to me or it's something I've been looking for, sometimes I will pay you exactly what it is worth.
Yeah. And circling back to setting a budget, and like bringing that amount of cash, just a heads up, like really big shows like the National, it could be something like this. The ATMs that are on hand run out of money very quickly, or it could be even you don't know that your bank has a limit placed on your account of how much cash you can withdraw at a time.
All the time.
Happens all the time. So just kind of have that foresight to bring that ahead of time. Maybe you need an extra $40 while you're there. You go hit the ATM, whatever.
I have 2 more etiquette ones. One, if you see a dealer having a conversation with another collector, wait your turn. We see it a lot where like we'll be it's similar like when you're at the bar. You will be doing a deal with someone and someone like hold their hand up and be pointing at a case like, hey, come give me this card. It's like, okay, we're going to finish this transaction. Then we'll shift over to you. I know you're next. Peripheral vision. I saw you. We'll come over. You are not special. If you are doing it,
if you know how to point at a card, I think you might be special.
You might be special. But being very patient is something. Like I said, a lot of these shows there could be a lot of people, and if like I know our booth is only going to have 2 or 3 people at it. If we have 9 people around our booth, we're going to finish a transaction first for security purposes. We don't take cards out and leave them. Like, we're going to finish that transaction, put the card back or sell the card, and then we'll move to the next customer. So if you are vending, don't do that. If you have like 7 people at your booth and it's just you and a buddy, Finish a transaction, go to the next one. Because if you pull a card out for someone, then you go help someone else. Sometimes it's all a ruse. They just wanted to get your attention so that one person, you go back, they're gone. Your card is gone. Now you're filing a police report. They have to go through cameras. It happens at shows all the time. And a lot of it can be prevented. Then my other etiquette one would be if you are looking at people's bargain boxes, we are not taking any just because it's going to be too much volume and too much going on. But if you're looking at someone's bargain boxes, keep them in a similar order to when you went through them. Some people take a lot of time to break their boxes specifically down by team. Don't go messing it up.
Even by sport.
Yeah, just try to keep it in order. If they have like dime cards, even though they're a dime, make sure they go back in like nice and neat and not like all jagged edged and just thrown in there. It's not cool.
I mean that just kind of goes to the whole life mantra of don't be a dick.
Yeah, respect other people's stuff. Remember, it is not yours. You do not own it until you buy it. So until you, that's the other thing too. When like people are looking at cards for grading, like ask first. Like don't just start pulling cards out of mags and stuff. Like be like, hey, can I please look at this a little bit closer? Do you mind if I take this out of this top loader and look at it? If it's a vintage card, be like, hey, I would like to look at it in like a certain light. Or you have like a loop with you or something. Always ask first. You are never going to get in trouble for like asking for too much permission with the dealer. They would prefer you do that than just like start messing with their inventory without their permission because some dealers really don't want you to do it.
And like they don't know you know how to handle cards.
Yeah, and I know we've had it before where guys are like taking cards out of the bag, out of the mag, and then they like put it in like backwards and stuff. You're like, that's not how it was, man. Like you can clearly see how nice and neat everything was, and now it is like all destroyed.
Yeah.
And if you have like some OCD tendencies like me, it like
just be a decent human,
which it's so hard for some people.
Yep. For a lot of people, not just some.
And have fun. I think the card show this weekend is gonna be extremely fun. I'm excited to walk around at least a little bit just to like see some stuff. I mean, there are gonna be some cards there that are just incredible cards, especially some like the really rare stuff you just don't see.
Before we wrap up, let's go over our WrestleMania picks.
Yeah, Nate did the thing like my wife does with the March Madness. My wife always wins March Madness because she just takes like favorites or she's not totally like up to date on it and can just take a guess and hits. So Nate only missed 2 matches because we eliminated the women's tag match because
we avoided the women's tag match
because Nikki Bella was injured and Paige made her debut, so we avoided it. Doesn't matter. Me and Nate both missed it. I shouldn't have missed it. It should have been Bailey and Lyra, but we will continue. So Nate missed the Seth Rollins match and the Drew McIntyre match. I missed Randy, AJ, the Logan Paul one, the Jade Cargo one, the Dom one, and the Javon Evans one. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches correct. Nate got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Nate won.
So I went 9 and 2.
Nate is the real wrestling fan. I did like the thing that people who like are really in the weeds on like college basketball, they overthink everything and they take everything into consideration. And sometimes
and you
it
had
just,
me
like,
go first. So I know there's definitely part of you that like wanted to be a contrarian.
I think some of them was just like me. Like there was also a few like I really didn't think that they were gonna have Rhea win just for the fact that like they've been pushing Jade so hard. I know Nate only saw highlights, but Javon Evans should have won the ladder match, dude. It was insane. It was so fun. JD did die twice, and I don't know if you saw the call. Michael Cole literally said JD's dead. Whenever he did, Penta did his the front flip, like what the hell is it called? I don't know. It's a real spinny doodad onto a ladder.
Spin.
The one we didn't choose the Oba Brock match. I just realized that.
I thought we did.
We didn't. We talked about it, but we never picked.
Or we just never wrote it down.
Yeah. It was a lot of short matches. Night 1 was a little stinky. Night 2 was unbelievable. The Oba Brock match ended in a way that I was not predicting, which Brock Lesnar retired, which there was a lot of grown men very
emotional,
distraught. Brock was very distraught.
Yes.
He was actively crying in the ring, which I didn't think he had that. And he did the thing that he did for the first time ever. He was like shaking hands and like high-fiving people on the way out. He doesn't do that.
No.
He assaults you. So that was interesting. Overall, it was WrestleMania. It was fun. I'm real pissed because I think it's out of the country the next 2 years. It's in Saudi Arabia next year.
Yeah.
I'm not happy about it. If any sheiks are listening to this, just stop. Stop taking all the sports.
We get it. You have money.
You got all the money. You can't just keep buying every sport. You guys got soccer. You got boxing. You got WWE now. Just calm down.
Yeah.
It's all just a show for you. Calm down. If you really want to do it, start your own. And I was going to say buy your own athletes, which I was going to correct myself, but that's pretty much what they do.
Yeah. No, that is exactly what they do.
Yeah, it was still fun. I mean, it wasn't the same as usual. I usually will have like people over or something and watch it, and they also messed up by having stand and deliver 2 weeks early. That's usually traditional watching that like Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. It was still fun. I enjoyed it.
Completely unrelated. Can we get Taco Bell today?
Man.
I think about that every time we record now. It's in my brain.
They do have new there's always something new.
Well, yeah.
I think they have new Crunch Wraps. Or no, they got the Crunch Wrap snack wraps.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. The look on the look of excitement on Chad's face means yes, we are going to order Taco Bell.
Yeah, I forgot lunch again.
I brought a little bit, but there's bowling tonight, so I need to have dinner and lunch.
Well, all right, guys. Make sure to find us at the show. Nate and Tyler and company will be holding the fort down at retail. Be patient at the show. Be patient at the shop. It could be a lot of people. I don't know.
Be patient on the roads.
I wish we had like an underground like hyperloop that we could just like take from the store directly to the convention center and back.
Yeah.
That'd be super sweet.
But
Elon, if you're listening,
hop on it. That was now.